Good evening, I'm Matt McCoy. The town of Geiger is still cleaning up from the April 15th storms that spawned a tornado that destroyed much of the small town. Continuing coverage of the deadly storms in tonight's top story. Today, the residents of Sumter County community celebrate the Easter Sunday in joint services due to damage to several of the churches. This coming on the heels of the Federal Emergency Management Agency announcing that it will not assist in Sumter or Marengo County in the cleanup effort. Here are some pictures our crews took while out surveying some of the damage in Geiger today. Here you can see the outline where a mobile home now sits about 15 feet away. Here is the remnants of what is left of a home. Around the lot sits plates, pots, and even an unmanned drum set. This is one of the first damaged homes that you will reach driving into Geiger. Trees all around the house are damaged and on the ground. The resident of the home is living in a camper until their home is repaired. Many of the residents we spoke with today voiced their concern over the fact that they will not be getting any federal assistance from FEMA. Church groups are joining forces to make up for the local agencies and volunteers that they can't do. The West Alabama chapter of the American Red Cross was one of the first on the scene helping in disaster relief and is now working with several other agencies to assist in the cleanup. But with the threat of no FEMA funding, residents are starting to worry that the Red Cross will be pulling out as well. But Oscar Barnes, executive director of the West Alabama chapter of the American Red Cross, says the residents of Geiger and West Alabama have nothing to worry about.
We have to respond to our community, so we ask our community to respond to us. We're developing an organization and a committee called a Long-Term Recovery Committee. This is made up of nonprofit organizations within our communities, other organizations, faith-based communities that we'll bring to the table because everybody has a resource that they may be able to share with us.
Governor Robert Bentley has 30 days to repeal the decision by FEMA to help get assistance to Sumter and Marengo counties. If you'd like to donate to the victims of the storms, you can visit www.redcross.org or you can visit the West Alabama Red Cross headquarters on Veterans Memorial Parkway. Well, the never-ending gas price story continues, and every little bit helps when it comes to those gas prices finally going down. According to the AAA, the average cost for a gallon of regular unleaded in Tuscaloosa has decreased by 2 cents in the past week. But around the area, some gas stations that sold regular gas unleaded for $3.69 last week have actually dropped down to $3.59 this week. Now that's 10 cents. We spoke with some drivers to see how they feel about the unsteady gas prices.
The gas is too high. I just paid $20 for gas, only got 4 gallons. I can't even travel like I want to. I sit at home because the gas is too high.
I only fill up my truck about halfway when I do because otherwise I'm going to empty my bank account right now. So
I think they're a little high, but what's so aggravating is the fact that overnight they'll jump 6, 8, maybe even 10 cents a gallon. And then in 2 weeks, when you hear that the oil prices have come down a little bit per barrel, then the price at the pump will only come down about half of what they went up, but it takes 2 weeks for that to happen.
And WVUA wants to hear from you. If you see low gas prices, be sure to call the WVUA Pump Patrol hotline. That number is 205-523-5001. Turning to the latest in the Gulf oil spill disasters, scientists are saying it is taking too long to distribute the millions of dollars in funds needed for Gulf oil spill research. The springtime is a crucial time to collect samples for research, but scientists say it could be too late to assess the crude's impact by the time the studies begin. BP pledged $50 million a year for over 10 years, but no money has been made available for this year, and figuring out which projects to fund could take months. The Gulf of Mexico Research Initiative says that not doing the Gulf oil spill research during the springtime could be a problem. In other news, Christians around the world celebrated Easter today, which celebrates what the faithful believe as the resurrection of Jesus Christ 3 days after his crucifixion. Here's Annette Sosa with a look at some of the events that took place marking the holiday.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Hi, Bryce. How are you today?
A tornado may have battered their community, but Easter worshipers at Holy Spirit Catholic Church outside St. Louis came to Mass with their spirits intact.
God was shining on us.
Flo Cramper lost power from the storm, which hit the area Friday evening. She said those who lost their homes to the twister were on her mind.
It's really, really hard, and I haven't lost my home. I can certainly sympathize with them, and we all look to family and friends, and we can replace possessions.
President Obama also went to services. This is his motorcade arriving to the Shiloh Baptist Church in Washington. The historic house of worship was founded by free black citizens in the 1850s. And at the Vatican, Pope Benedict XVI celebrated Mass in St. Peter's Square. As part of his traditional address, the pontiff spoke of the civil war in Libya.
May diplomacy and dialogue take the place of arms, and may those who suffer as a result of the conflict be given access to humanitarian aid.
Speaking of the uprising that have broken out across the Middle East in general, the Pope called for peace and an end to hate and violence. Nanette Sosa, WVUA News.
Back here in West Alabama, one church put on an amusing spin on their Easter Sunday service. The Church of Jubilation in Tuscaloosa turned into a courtroom today to bring its church members a play called Where's the Proof? Church members became actors in a mock court trial to examine the evidence of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Characters such as Peter, Thomas, and Paul were called up onto the witness stand to give their testimonies, while the jury were composed of kids. Pastor Walker Jackson says through this play, he hopes to bring the power of the resurrection back to the church.
So we want to prove to people, no matter what you're going through, don't give up. Because if Jesus had a resurrection, we too can have a resurrection. And the resurrection of Jesus brings us joy and power and forgiveness and the love of God. That we can be able to stand anything that we'll face in life.
In the future, Pastor Jackson hopes to spread the Where's the Proof play across the nation.